Uh, a quick side note, though, is that 3 weeks ago, my old boss called me up and said, "Hey, Scott, can you help out?" And I said, "Can I go part time and can I get this much money?" And it didn't quite get that much money, but I got part time. So I'm now still partially. First 2 weeks, I was working 30 hours a week, but for the rest of the year, it's supposed to be 20 hours a week, still at
Great.
TI. So I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But I can still, focus on energy choice experts the other half of the day. So that's why I haven't been too visible the last 2 weeks, as I've been working at TI again. But it's worked out well. But I still obviously want to go focus on growing my business. This is kind of the slow time for my business. Most people change electricity plans in spring and summer when they get a bill that's $300. They go, "Oh crap!" Yeah, they got a better change. So it's a slow time, and so it's a good time to go figure out what I'm going to do to go really promote come next spring and summer.
Scott, have you and Lloyd ever? Lloyd's walking away, but have you and Lloyd ever had one to one?
Lloyd and I have sat across each other in the breakfast time or two, and we've had some chats, but it's been quite a while.
Yeah, because obviously, well, Lloyd is still in Stream Energy, and or
Yeah.
now it's ACN, which
Right.
they acquired Stream, I think, is
Okay.
what the deal is. Or anyways, so Lloyd, that's probably I misstated that, but Lloyd, you want to check in while I brought you on.
Yeah, so uh, Stream actually got sold to NRG, and so that portion of Stream Energy got sold, and what was left was called Konnect, and what was left was actually the field field personnel and infrastructure and a couple other services, which they've now got rid of because that whole thing was sold to ACN. So really, all ACN got out of the deal was us, our people, and they brought their own services. We now sell their services as opposed to Stream services. All Stream customers still continue to receive, bills from Stream and everything. Nothing changes for them. But
Will that impact Stream's rates at all?
the sale won't. The new owners might.
So we should stay in touch in case I see increases.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're on a contract, you ain't going to see any changes. Okay,
Yeah.
nothing really changed for you. If you're on a contract, you're on a contract.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm on a 5-year contract, so.
Yeah, so the only time you
Good.
might see anything is, 4.5 years into the deal, they send you a
Got
letter.
it.
Hey, here's
Got
something.
it.
Right?
Okay. I'll keep my eyes open.
Okay. And so
Okay.
I'm really excited about the change. I was a little disappointed at first, but I'm excited because, now I have 14 services as opposed to just one. And I'm in 27 countries as opposed to 9 states. So
Right.
that's, the opportunity is a lot larger. And I'm finding it a lot more fun. ACN is a different company. They have a lot more support. And so, like anything, there's a few things I don't like, but
Right.
that's always the case. You don't like something about something, but on the whole, everything's pretty good. Yeah. So I'm like,
Yeah, I just think that it might be, and again, I don't want to, go into, in depth, but there's probably in terms of incorporating, Stream, if not already, into the algorithm and some of the other things. I know that, they're looking for the best 1 year rates and stuff. I'm going to bring Dawn Tilger on. Heshi, are you able? Can we hear you? I know I can't see you, but can you introduce yourself? I know you from the Be Connected world and the global world, and you want to introduce yourself?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear. I can hear you. I just don't see you, but that's
Yeah,
okay.
my video is saying that it's on.
Yeah, it shows you're on, but it's just your blank screen. But anyway, that we'll deal with that maybe next time. So anyway, share. You want to share just basically what we do here in this first part here is just kind of, here's who I am, here's the things I'm focused on, my vision or where I'm going or any challenges I have, because again, our intention here is to put some collective expansion in our thought process to anything any individual might be working with in this community right now.
Okay, well, I'm doing two things right now besides Be Connected. And both of them are going to come out within the next 4 to maybe 4 weeks. One is a company that I'm brand new to it. It is not a network marketing company. It's not an affiliate company, but you're able to bring products out to the market that others will want to share everywhere. And I won't have all the information for a couple of weeks, but anybody who's got a product will be able to sell it. I mean, it could be any product. Eventually, it will be programs and courses and things, but right now it's specifically products. The other is that I'm really excited about is I've been asked to partner with a group for when we can all get live again, to go on trips and retreats. And I will be planning the retreats with those who want to be the scholar in residence or whatever it happens to be. And they will be able to teach and get paid for it. And we'll be doing it at different destinations around the world. It's not with any kind of affiliate or network marketing company. It's going to be brand new. And I was unprepared because I had no idea what this was going to be about. But those are the things that are coming up. And the other thing, I guess, that is important to me is I've got a nonprofit called Kids Better World, and I promote a purification bottle called Purity. And for every 2 bottles purchased, a child gets a third one for free. So these little teeny filters replace 454 plastic bottles, and I'm all about changing the environment for the better.
Yeah, and if you want to know Heshi a little bit more, what episode were you in Warrior versus Zombie, Heshi?
Oh my gosh, I'd have to go back
I'm
and
trying
see.
to think. You're 40 something. I don't know. I can go back and look. But anyway, if go to, she's on her episode is on the Warrior versus Zombie podcast, and she shares a little bit, if you want to know kind of her origin story and some of the get to know her better, you can reach out to her on and get that update, if you will. So
Heshi, is it Heshi Segal or Siegel?
I did everything Siegel.
Siegel? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
At least that's how I've been pronouncing it. I did it on the podcast, so hopefully I got that right.
Good.
No, it's
All right.
Siegel, and I get a lot because there's no relation to George Segal.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
No relation.
Too bad.
Heshi, is there a cover over your camera that you can, like a little slide cover that's accidentally closed?
No, I have nothing over
Yeah.
there. It's
Well,
on
interestingly,
video.
yeah.
Wait a minute, maybe FaceTime. I'll just select something. Does that make a difference?
Not yet.
I ran into this with a person that I was having a one-to-one with, and there was something about they had another application using their camera or something, and that was the only other time I ran into this where everything Zoom thought it was live. But anyway, it's okay.
If you have any sort of virus protection or identity theft protection applications on your
No, I'm not on any of those, and it's so strange. I can see others coming on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well
You'll figure it out.
We'll go with that. She's a beautiful woman, if you really want to know. And so, and again, if you want to see her episode on Warrior versus Zombie, you can get an idea of who she's all about. Let's keep going here. So Dana kind of introduced himself. John, did you want to do a real quickie? Again, most of us know you.
I help people to gain access to legal services and identity theft protection with ID Shield and Legal Shield. We have a portfolio of services to protect the legal rights and identities for families, small businesses, commercial drivers, and also employees as a voluntary benefit. From everything related to protecting one's identity, to having your contracts reviewed, to starting a business, everything related to that. We help to give you peace of mind in every aspect of both legal and also your identity. And so that's what I'm about. And I am right now parked in the parking lot. I'm looking at the Whataburger in Colony. So.
All right. Okay, John. Let's see who haven't I talked to? Dawn, you want to check in real quick? Dawn Tilger.
I get Dawn Tiger a lot. So Hetchy, I feel your pain. I'm Dawn. I'm with Club Z Tutoring. We do tutoring pre-K all the way up to college. And business is going great. I'm still working on streamlining some of the systems, but it's going good this week. It's been a good month.
Awesome.
For all of October.
Awesome. Ricky Jean, you want to introduce yourself to the rest of us here that don't know you?
Ricky Jean Wright, and I guess my first love is Americana singer-songwriter, and you can find all about that at americanasingersongwriter.com. The reason why I have that name and that website is the things I've learned in network marketing, and instead of having my name out there, I have what I do out there. So that's always a big help. I've also been an independent entrepreneur since 1994. And since 2010, I've been a multi-line credit card processing merchant services representative with multiple different companies. And during the coronavirus pandemic, I started up another little company because the merchant services business was taking a real hit, and it's called RGW Delivery, and it's really a man with a pickup truck and a trailer, and sometimes, well, I guess you can't see that. Sometimes I'm in hog heaven, and I deliver zero-turn lawnmowers for Tractor Supply. So.
All right, good job, Ricky. Okay, let's see Robbie D.
Hey guys, I'm Rob Denenberg, and I fix houses, buy houses, rent houses, all kinds of single family homes. If you're looking for a new place to live, talk to me. I also have Greenhouse Community, and right now we have such supply chain problems getting food. Let's grow our own. I'm looking for help to launch greenhouse communities. I'm changing my strategy up because the world has changed. Again, supply constraints, food necessities. I'm just going to start building greenhouses and trying to rent them out rather than the whole big community. Got to change with the times. So I think right now we need to worry about getting food with supply chain issues.
Yeah, and that's a great. I like that that change or that shift in your focus, if you will, Robbie D. I think that I think focusing right now on a cause-driven movement here and getting some of the infrastructure in place to enable that movement to start is probably a good strategy. So I like that a lot. Randy, you want to go ahead?
Sure. My name is Randy Sablik, for those of you who are new, and I'm the old guy in the group. I spent my career working for a variety of companies, fixing underperforming businesses, and after I did that, they'd either assign me to another one, usually as a corporate officer, or I got recruited by somebody else to do the same thing for them. So I did that for 40 years, retired, moved to Texas, did some consulting from people who knew me and knew I moved and said, hey, can you help us? I did that a little bit, but living out of a hotel and while still having a house in Texas wasn't my cup of tea. So I kind of retired. And now I just help people. If somebody's struggling getting their business up and running and they'd like to have someone with experience to talk to, I do that. That's my payback to society, and I don't charge for that. So even if you just want to have a conversation, might cost you a cup of coffee, but beyond that, it's all good.
Yeah, thanks, Randy. And so, and you'll get to know me. I mean, if all you have to do really is look at my virtual background to kind of know what I'm at. But really, my passion today, my life purpose, if you will, is ensuring that warriors from all walks of life really have clarity on why they're on the planet, the value they provide, and if anything were possible, what kind of impact would they have. And then my secondary goal is to really build community around them, build their wealth team, help them to have resources, including my podcast, including the thing we're going to talk about today, including our continued growth and expansion of our networks. So I'm going to ask one question, and then I'm going to start into this conversation, because I think it's relevant. This is for Heshi, especially since has a global focus, but also a very powerful and talented networker. But how many here in our RP Networkers community have been, are, or working with various the existing social platforms to build your business, first of all? So if you are, I don't need you, just raise your hand that you're using social platforms. I assume you know what that means: LinkedIn, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, you name it. Everybody here? Anybody not? If you're not, raise your hand. Okay, so not using that. Okay. What we're going to talk about here is really, I'm targeting both of you, and frankly, where we're at in this conversation I'm going to have today, that I want you to, I think we're at a place now with Be Connected and with the summit coming up and some other things that I really want to make sure that I'm doing the best job I can at helping this community really understand what you've got your hands on and what the possibilities are. So as I said in the billing, if you will, of this meeting, is whether you're looking at participating as a member, free, paid, whatever your objective is, or whatever is, I want everybody to understand the potential value of that. For those that aren't using any social platforms to build their business, reach their audience, get their message out, connect to people, can somebody open? I'm going to mute everybody just so I know who wants to talk, so it's not just a free-for-all here. And I'm going to ask, if you have a reason why you don't, I'd like for you to open your mic and just share. Remember, we're helping each other. So what is it that is keeping you from using those platforms? So you'll have to unmute, and then, okay, so Dana?
Yeah, let me quickly say that my answer was not altogether accurate. Formerly, we were using, when I was working with SNH Solar and Electric, which I've separated from because of my transition to Albania, we were using actively Facebook advertising to generate leads. So we were there. The nature of my business historically has been consulting, and I have not had the need for social media other than LinkedIn to make contacts. Principally, my business came through referrals, client referrals, and peers, and so forth in the industry.
Okay. Anybody else want to share? John, go ahead and open your mic. There you go.
Okay. Primarily because the main social media is that they've used is Facebook, and that is much more of a business to consumer, and my focus has been business to business and trying to and just finding a way to leverage the social media in the B2B environment has been a challenge.
Okay.
So yeah, I
Al-
don't use it.
Alan Diamond, I'm going to allow you to be on stage. Hang on just a second. Go ahead, Lloyd.
Yeah, so I don't use it because I just don't have the time, and partly I don't have the knowledge. Although someone told me 2 days ago you can learn everything you want to learn on YouTube.
You just got to learn YouTube, right? No, I'm just
yeah, yeah, you can do anything you want. You can learn anything. But in the past, it's been sort of apprehension about the knowledge base. I don't have the knowledge base, and I really don't want to get sucked into the time. You know, my impression is that it's time consuming.
Yep.
My impression is that I have to come up with innovative, new, and interesting posts on a regular basis. I don't have time to go searching for curated data and all this other stuff. I just don't want to do that. And then I don't want to pay somebody to do that either because I'm cheap.
Yeah.
So,
Got it.
but I don't use it.
Okay. Thanks, Lloyd. Thanks for sharing. Randy, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I just had to walk away for a minute. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Did you? Okay. Go ahead, Robbie D.
What Lloyd said is so correct. You know, if we're going to be working on our business, not in our business, we need help. To use social media, it's like I've been looking into it. I want to start a Facebook page. I don't have the time nor the expertise to keep a Facebook page going, posting blogs and all this stuff to keep my business, relative. It needs daily attention. And Lloyd is right. It's, to figure it out, once you got it figured out, you're outdated. You got to go on to the next thing. So it's, I'm looking for volunteers to help me with that because I'm right now so focused on so many other things. As a leader, I'm trying to find people to help because I don't have the time to figure it all out, just like Lloyd said.
Okay.
But as a solopreneur, okay, I believe as a solopreneur, you either have the contacts. In my case, I was very fortunate. I had lots of contacts and they grew exponentially just word of mouth. But I moved to Texas, I knew nobody. And so without some form of social media, advertising, whatever, how are people going to know about you?
Right.
How are you going to get your message out?
Yeah, and that's a good question, Randy. And again, I'm trying to kind of I want to get so that's an excellent reason to use it, and also a question that we all need to kind of answer. It's not there's not an answer. That's why I wanted to make sure because we're all in kind of different places. I mean, and I'll talk a little bit about my own experience. Robbie D, did you have something else you?
No, I was just going to say, Randy's correct. You need to be out there and have a social media presence.
Yeah.
But as with LinkedIn, you could really screw things up on LinkedIn if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. Okay. I appreciate that. And that's actually good. For those, Dawn, I wanted to ask you just real quickly. I know in a franchise business and the kind of the world that you're in and looking for both tutors as well as prospective clients and institutions that might be able to partner with and so on. What is your use of the social platforms today?
Well, we advertise almost daily on Facebook. We have a Facebook site, and the corporate, well, not corporate, but my SCS people, they do that. And then I add stuff in for Instagram. I've also posted jobs on Facebook, Nextdoor, and Randy's been helping me with my LinkedIn. Thank you, Randy. And I haven't done all the things he get on my list yet, but working toward it. But anyway, all those things. But I don't see it getting a ton of traffic, even though there's daily posting, so you can boost them. It's pretty cheap to boost, like $10. So if you have a great ad, you can boost it to a certain demographic. So that's kind of cool and inexpensive, as opposed to like pay-per-click or something like that on Google.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But it's not going to happen instantaneously.
No.
You know, because you started from the unknown commodity in a somewhat relatively unknown service, all right, that people kind of like their next door neighbor did that, and so that's how they knew about it. Right. So you've got to figure out what is the most expeditious way and the best use of your time, and do it slowly, and don't expect, instantaneous, A-bomb results.
Right. And I think there is an expectation thing there. There's also many factors in there that I think whether people have embraced social media, social platforms or not, that we're going to talk about here in a second, that are underneath the surface. And so everything everybody said, by the way, is valid and are reasonable, either barriers and or reasons. And actually somebody's barrier can be somebody else's reason to either embrace or not embrace social platforms. Okay, so there's some things about it that I think we hear about, but we don't really think about that much when we're really trying to put it to work. Any other thoughts about either why you don't or why you do before I get into that? We've got a couple minutes, and then I want to make sure I get into the content here. Ricky Jean? Go ahead. You need to unmute.
Well, the one thing that I've noticed is that one of the most difficult things to monitor is Google reviews, and that I've met some people before who just one day looked up and all they had was really bad reviews on Google. They didn't even know there was such a thing as Google reviews. And one of them was a person that I know takes real time and care and patience with estate sales, and has a real caring person. And so people just out of the blue just was giving. She didn't even know there was such a thing as a Google review. And so I think in some instances, some of these things are kind of sitting out there like a target, because there's a lot of people that are cranky, and they'll never like something, and they think something is bad no matter what. And I've seen where people are having to pay someone to help them monitor those things like Google review, because people are out there just trying to be mean.
Or you got to monitor it yourself. I mean, I won't name names, but someone that I was helping, we went to their LinkedIn page, and there were posts, just like you said, not necessarily negative, but totally irrelevant, and posts by people, and just using their page as a way to get even more reviews and even more exposure for themselves.
Right.
And I don't even know how they do that, quite frankly.
Well, that is one of the factors, and I would say that, and I'm not going to speak for Alan Diamond, but I know in his world, the whole situation is a lot of compliance issues, financial issues, the risk of somebody co-opting your feed, or all of those things are all out there because, and a number of things that people have mentioned, the control aspects of it, you know, are challenging. So yeah. So
which makes me think you shouldn't try to do all of the social platforms.
Absolutely.
You should try to concentrate on one or two, maybe just one, because it can get, you know, you could have something just out there and then it just kind of gets, you know, highway robbed from you.
Or you use somebody like Rick Ross and you ask him to take a platform that you don't really know a lot about, and he can help design the proper graphic, the right message, and then he can monitor it for you, just as you said, get somebody else to monitor it. And if it's not working, then you stop.
Right. Those are the, so, Alan, did you want to respond to anything I said there, or did
I was just going to add to it and say that what you mentioned is absolutely right. In fact, in the New York Life side of the world, there's a sales organization in New York City that writes all the ads and has pre-approved language that we can put out on Facebook. So we just press a button and say, you know, basically click here and the ad flows. Now, last week or the week before, I was hacked, and I got a call from one of my better clients, a very nice guy, and said, Alan, I know you would never send a message out like this, because you got to get on Facebook and see what's going on.
Yeah.
And that took me an hour's worth of aggravation to undo.
Yeah.
By the time I figured out how to, you know, shut it down on Facebook and basically notify Facebook and say, pull this junk.
Yeah.
So it's a double-edged sword, but I can write my own ad, but then I've got to submit it to this.
Got to get it submitted to compliance and get it approved and blah,
exactly.
blah, blah, all that stuff. Yeah, because you're going public, if you will, so there's no control that you have on the audience. Really, you're limited in your ability. That's why they're all exercised about you using that. Don, did you have anything? I'm gonna get ready to go. I'm gonna go into the presentation, but I saw you open your mic.
I do. I'm going to add to Alan's comment. There's not a week goes by that I don't get a Facebook friend having been hacked and sending out some weird message that says, "Well, how are you doing?" And then the next message is, "Have you heard about our latest campaign?" I mean, that's, you know, and it's a sewer is what it is in a lot of cases. So
right. So those are all, and that's good. I'm glad. Thank you guys for weighing in, because you are expressing things that I hear, and I, frankly, you know, worry and get concerned about as well. So let me do this. I'm gonna bring up, and I'm gonna share my screen, and then I'm gonna go through this PowerPoint and just talk about Be Connected, because one of the reasons why, you know, a lot of people, we tend to it's not a bad thing. I'm not going to say this is a negative thing, because we're so overwhelmed sometimes with decisions and technology's changing so fast, so many things are going on, that it's really, really hard to sort through it. So what we do is we label things, and then we put them in a compartment, and we say, okay, that's like LinkedIn, that's like Facebook, that's like something that we maybe know enough to be dangerous about, but we know enough about that we know we don't want to get sucked in. Use Lloyd's example. I don't want to get sucked into looking at cat pictures, or I don't want to get into some black hole of time, because my time is valuable. A number of things. I don't want to just be watching video after video after video. I don't want trolls. I don't want, you know, that's one of the things on most of the social platforms. I'm even seeing it now on LinkedIn and in Instagram, you know, where people are coming in, they're co-opting your platform. Not to mention the platform itself. And this is the other thing. Dawn mentioned this, and with LinkedIn, and it's the same thing with Facebook. It's the same thing with all these platforms. Is you one of the things you have to understand is you're going to spend a lot of time and energy not just learning how to be on the platform, but also how to stay up with their algorithms and things that either promote or limit your exposure to your audience. Okay, if that doesn't make sense to you, then it should, but that's also a reason why you have somebody like Lloyd, somebody like Alan, somebody like might not want to be on those platforms, or might limit what they do on those platforms because of the time component. So Be Connected has become, and I want to share this because we are already an association, if you will, under the Be Connected umbrella. I am an ambassador for Be Connected, and at the end I'll share with you, there's a summit that's going to be involve 90 countries and about 70 speakers, of which I'm going to be one of them, coming up on the 13th of November. It's an all-day summit where people that names you'll recognize and those kinds of things will be doing a lot of content, and that content will also be available post the summit and during the summit and post the summit for people in our community. So my primary objective here today is not to motivate you to do anything. My primary objective today is to educate you, to give you at least a modicum of understanding of what we have our hands on and what the potential is. And then it's up to you and everybody else that watches this video to really understand what it is that you're inspired to do with the information I'm going to share. Because if you know me, you know I'm not interested in motivating you, because to me that's manipulation. What I'm really interested in is you understanding what you're trying to do, why you're trying to do it, the unique value you want to be able to provide to whatever your community or audience is, and then if anything were possible, where would you go? How would you be living your ideal day? I would submit that most of us here today aren't interested in living our ideal day on some social platform. Okay, so I'll just throw that out there for the guys that have opted out of really being that engaged in any social platform. So hopefully you feel a little validated there, because that's also my objective as well. Even though, to be quite candid with you, I got involved when my daughter was 15 years old in MySpace, pre-Facebook, and I've been in social platforms since that time, and it's enabled me to do a lot of things, but also I see all of the downsides of all those and the evolution of that. So I want to talk about Be Connected, and I'm saying as a preferred social media broadcasting network. You say, how's it a broadcasting network? I thought it was just like whatever, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever. Just to give you a little context here, in case you don't know, I think a couple of you said it, and I'm going to say this is also true. Even though you've chosen not to be part of any of these platforms, it is still something worth considering. Robbie D said it. Yeah, I'm not there. I don't have the time, the energy, I don't want to climb the learning curve. I don't want to do whatever to get there, but I realize I should be there. For one thing, in 2015, there were 2 billion users in 20. Sorry, I can't see my own thing because I've got all you guys on here. In 2020, there was 3.6 billion, and as we continue to go in 2021, we're up to 4.48 billion people on all of the various social platforms. And again, they're all somewhat modeled after, and many of them the same kind of model, which is get you on board, get your attention, leverage your most valuable assets, sell your eyeballs to advertisers. And in fact, you as a business owner can be an advertiser. That's why when Dawn was saying, I might need to promote. It's relatively cheap, but I might need to boost my post or whatever. It's just a way for them to say, you can have access, Dawn, you can have access to Dave's eyes if you pay me. And the more they can get you to pay to do that, the better off they are. So when you look at the choices, Randy did us a great mastermind we did a while back where he said, asking these questions, which ones you use, why you use them. We talked about that. We did a little bit of that in the preamble to this discussion. But in Twitter, there's 353 million, LinkedIn 756 million, 2.3 billion in YouTube, 2.85 billion Facebook, and so on. You can see the slide. So there's a lot of choices. And again, I would submit that all of the choices that are listed here, the biggest ones, are really about ultimately keeping you on the platform, getting access to your eyeballs so that somebody can sell that access, and that somebody is those platforms. Okay, so these are the top ones. So let's go on to the next slide. So what I'm going to say is that Be Connected is going after being the new preferred global broadcasting network by being a disruptor to this platform, which is these other platforms, which is really not saying it's in place of, it's actually taking those platforms and allowing us to be more intentional as networkers. One of the things is, so if you look at one of the key attributes of Be Connected is we have live and recorded content. This show, this mastermind is actually a show in the Be Connected community. That's why Heshi joined in, and that's why some other people have seen the replays of this mastermind. And so whether you realize it or not, you've become known within a very today still relatively intimate community, 10,000, 20,000, growing very quickly, but a controlled community of intentional business. And the thing is, no advertising. You say, well, I don't necessarily mind advertising that much as long as it's free, as long as I don't have to pay for the membership. And the answer is you should. Because if they're advertising to you, they're able to not only control what you see, but also what you say. And they can control how far your message get out. So there's no more, within the Be Connected platform, there's not annoying videos or ads that you're going to see every time you try to get some information. The platform is monetized, it's monetized by the people that participate. In other words, you're paying for membership, and I'll talk about that, or not, you're paid for free, but the people that are interested in building an audience in conjunction with or whatever around their business can do that, and you can monetize the platform. The cool thing about Be Connected is it's not being sold to some, to Microsoft, like LinkedIn or whatever, where again, it's going to flip to them, really funding the development, the growth, the business. It's really funded by those of us who participate in the community. It's like Richardson Plano Networkers has funded, it's not for profit, but it's not for loss, but it's funded by your $2 a week that you pay to be part of the group. So we don't outgrow our ability to do that. I'm not going to look for an investor or people to say, let's invest in this and grow. It's the same thing with Be Connected, very much aligned with my thought process. Really, all content is welcomed except nudity and hate speech. And why is that significant? Because if you've heard, unless you've lived under a rock lately, you know that all of those big platforms that we're talking about are all exercising their opinion, their control over messaging. Now, if you're aligned with that, if you're willing to submit to that, that's fine. But there's a lot of people out there that say, no, I want to communicate with Randy. I want to communicate with Don. I want to communicate with, Dana, with Heshi, I want to communicate one-to-one, and I want to talk to them just like I do if I have a one-to-one with them. I want to communicate the things that I think are important to my audience. If my audience doesn't like this, then the platform has a rating system and ways to it's just like Google. Or just like Uber, So basically, you have the opportunity now. We're in 79 countries where you can go. You may have heard me say we're live in the Hive. Well, today we're live in the Hive. This show is actually live in the Hive. Heshi joined this show through the Be Connected platform. I like the fact, just by chance, is the graphic. I didn't create these graphics, by the way, and the one that says Be Connected, if you see, there's somebody you know's feature live Hive host on that list. That happens to be me, just by choice or by chance. It happened to be the graphic that they use, which I like. But your shows, my weekly Warrior versus Zombie show, as well as other shows. And the thing is, if you're either an association or an ambassador, you can create your own show. So you can create your own audience. You can begin to build a place where your messages. And by the way, for the financial people, there are people that talk about financial topics within this context, but it's because it's limited, because it's a closed group, it gives you more flexibility. And it is, again, advertising free, which is you can grow your following. One of the things a couple of you mentioned that's really important to me is because the platform is invitation only. So you've been invited by me. Just because you've been invited by me, a lot of things people invite you to, but that's the only way to become part of the Be Connected platform, even as a free member, is to be invited. But the other thing is to actually start putting your message out, to be real active, super active in it. You can be found be aware and get a lot of benefit from being just a free member, but to really have the impact, it does require a paid member. And then that way only paid members can be the ones that are engaging and talking and those kinds of things. So you're not just anybody who can set up an email address and get an account and then start spamming and sending bad reviews and doing whatever they want to you. Everybody has to be known. There's an accountability factor there that I love. That's the thing I love about face-to-face networking is you and I have a one-to-one. I refer somebody to you. I know you. And I know who you are and what kind of person you are. It's the same thing with the Be Connected platform. I know that you're a 5-star rated person, and the algorithm actually rewards that kind of behavior as opposed to that. And you can connect easily to your registered guests. So basically, when you're building a show, somebody comes into either this group or whatever, then the ability to follow up, communicate. There's private groups, those kinds of things, and really all members have, it says assess, but it's actually access to join your shows and groups. So everybody that's on the Be Connected platform can actually be part of this show. So as over time, it doesn't happen overnight, but over time we can begin to expand our audience and impact. So the cool thing is Be Connected, really we believe that we've changed the game because we don't sell to advertisers. That flips the model. Again, if you don't understand that, we can talk about it offline, but that changes the game in terms of what really drives the behavior performance on Be Connected. Building your network and a platform that pays you. There's people in this mastermind. Some of you are amazing networkers that have a great heart, have a desire to serve your network, and financial monetization of that effort isn't your primary thing. That is the case with me. However, if you're going to make that kind of investment and you can generate a return by being an influencer, by helping people, and then kind of in a passive way get some reward, if you will, for your efforts, why not? It's a beautiful thing. And so, and as this say, I mean, as this thing explodes, the potential is substantial. that's not for everybody, and I'm a believer in doing things that inspire you and support why you're here and the value you provide. I just believe that this platform, just like Richardson Plano Networkers and other networking activities, is aligned with and part of doing what you do as a business. So let's talk about that. There's really 3 memberships now. One of the things I love about where we're at with Be Connected, and it has been on a journey. The company itself officially launched September of 2020. The association program came up in November. A lot of changes. We've been in beta for a long time. The whole broadcasting network functionality, the app that's now on your iPhone or your Android is all available. All of those things have been evolving over the last year. I haven't really made a lot of hard, kind of heavy duty communication on it, simply because most people are not early adopters. Most people are looking for things, into the concept of actually going on that journey of, hey, it's changing, was pretty tough. But now we're out of beta, we're out of test mode. It'll still going to grow and improve, which is a beautiful thing, as have all of those platforms. There's regular updates for all these apps and things. But a free membership, there's a Be Pro membership, and then there's an ambassador. Those are only 3 now. Used to be several other levels, more expensive, other types of things. So today there's 6. So the free membership is really, you have free unlimited access to the live shows. So anybody that's doing a show, if you go and you sign up for free and you look at the main page, you're going to see my next Thrive in the Hive. You're going to see that, and you're going to see other shows, things that might be of interest. There's one that's of interest to me because one of the members of Be Connected is from Italy, and she's doing an Italian language show every so often, teaching people how to speak, travel to Italy and have that language. And I'm going to be traveling to Italy for my son's wedding next July, and so I'm going to learn a little bit about that. So that type of business, basically people that are out there. You can join public groups, any group that's not a private group. You can join those. You can have your own personal Be Connected website, which means that people can find you, can see your public profile, can ask to connect to you. And then you have, for a free membership, you get 10 free connection requests. Now that's not a lot, but you can at least get an idea of what the connection generator looks like. And then the other bonus is that you can have access to this top tier webinar platform. Full enterprise access is what it really is, which is roughly $140 a month, where you can do a lot of things with it. And it is only $12.99 a month. So it's still, that is not free, but you can get access to that, which allows, I could do this show to 500 attendees and stream it to Facebook Live and have up to 10,000 people watching the show if we ever got that big. Again, you say, I don't have any desire to get to that big. But anyway, if you've got a paid membership for Zoom of any kind, you're paying more than $12.99, unless you've already got a deal. That's just the case. So, so a Be Pro membership, this is one of the cool things, is this used to be really, Be Pro used to be the $2.99 offering. And basically now it is, you get full access. So unlimited connections, unlimited, you can reach out to people, set up one-to-ones, do the rating, approve. The cool thing is it's like somebody asking you for a one-to-one, in that people can't be, if they don't want, they look at you and say, yeah, I don't know, I don't want to, if you say I don't want to waste my time, you're not forced to actually deal with that person. So it's a two-way street. But the other thing is, now for the Be Pro membership, is it includes all of the Be Learning, or what I call the university, which is today over $40,000 of high quality business courses, in almost every area that you would focus on in terms of maybe building or expanding or improving your business, both online and offline. So if anybody's looked at people's, every day people are on all those other platforms selling you programs, things, they'll give you something for free and then they'll upsell you this. This is, like I say, a university, and the whole thing is $99 one time and then $49 a month. And then a little asterisk there is that once you refer 2 paid members of at any level, you're free for life. There's no more monthly payments. So but 2 free members. So the Be Learning, with the Go Live in the Hive, you can showcase your expertise, create leads, but then you can also, with the ambassador membership, you can begin to build your audience. Again, you can't just go live in the Hive and assume that everybody, the world's going to show up. I'm blessed. If you go to the website, you'll see when I went live in the Hive versus my other, I about doubled my downloads for my Warrior versus Zombie podcast, because it is just another way to get your message out, another audience. And frankly, the people that are in the Be Connected audience that we have access to have very large audiences and very large influence of their own. So you can get all of those, the connection generator, the Be Learning, and have the ability to create your own show, to be able to actually, in addition to be an ambassador and make some money from building your network for $2.99 with $49 a month. And again, the $49 always goes away if you once you've referred 2 paid members. So here's kind of the base. I'm not going to walk through all this again, but here's the differences. And then in a Be Pro membership, you can earn commissions for 15%. Those are direct commissions. And then the ambassador membership, 30 to, and then 10% for recurring or passive income for those that are on the call here or whatever or have into other affiliate or network marketing types of things. It's not network marketing. It's just a 2-tier affiliate, but there's a second level recurring for those that $49 and or people that are referred for those 2 people. So anyway, it's pretty cool. Again, I'm not trying to get into all of the details. I just want you to understand. So there's really 3 ways. Be Associates is if you are, let's say, a nonprofit of any kind. So that would be, in the case of Dana, your 501c3, or and it can be sub units because like my church or RP Networkers or the Murphy Chamber, or I've worked with the Dallas Veterans Chamber, other people. They can be associates where their membership is free, so they get a free unlimited Be Connected connection generator. They be associates, and then they pay $49 a month until they get either 20 free members or 2 paid members, and then again it's it's free. It's totally free. And then the Be Pro makes pays $99 or $4.99 a month, an ambassador. But all 3 of those levels generate income that looks like this. Again, if this is interesting to you, I want you to follow up with me. The main thing I would suggest to you to do is, regardless of what you do, at least sign up as a free membership, get your profile out there so people can find you, so I can connect people to you, so that we can begin to refer people. Lloyd mentioned, he's building his community. He has he invests a lot in people, for example, and but you can do business outside of just Texas. There may be people in the Be Connected network that might be possible if they were aware you existed, and you could begin to have one-to-ones or connections with those folks. Same way we're doing right here using Zoom, okay, and other platforms. So I'm not going to go through this in great detail, but this is just an example of one of the things people say, well, I don't have a big audience. I don't know, I guarantee you that you're part of somebody's audience. And right now, because we're an early adopter stage, if you find somebody who's, let's say, has 100,000 followers, and I submit you can go to all of those platforms we talked about before, and you can see people that maybe you're part of their community. Lloyd often mentions Jim Rohn, and there's probably influencers in that community where they might have a large audience. If you, as an ambassador, or even as if you referred one of those people, and only 1% of those people that are underneath that influencer's audience decided to become either Be Pro or ambassadors, you just a 1% conversion would generate $30,000 to $90,000. 5% would be that. So there's money. This is not a guarantee. There's just there. Then there's a 20% recurring for that $49 a month. You're getting until they refer 2 people, in which case then you get the 2 people they referred. But that the $49 a month is accruing to that ambassador. So again, with that 1% or 5% conversion, then there's a residual income that comes with those same conversion rates. If you had, let's see, did I go? Okay, so and then I'm not going to get into this because it's probably bigger than people can then get into. Is you can actually, because Be Connected we're at a early adopter stage. There's a desire to grow this to millions of people. Right now we're 10,000-ish, and growing in big chunks now because big influencers are starting to pop in. So if you know those influencers, you introduce them to this, and you're an ambassador, or even that they become associated with you, then there's potential there. So anyway, I'm just going to bounce through this because I think that's pretty much it. So those are the 3 membership levels, and really to get started with Be Connected, if you haven't already, and if you have, some of you have signed up as free members, but once you sign up as a free member, you create your profile, and then you can begin to there's just steps, and just pay attention, get locked in, and really just let people know about the community, just like we do in Richardson Plano Networkers, where we say come to 3 meetings, have 3 one-to-ones, and then bring 3 guests. Either refer business to 3 people or 3 people that come to the group. That's how you become a part of that community. The same thing with Be Connected, except if you refer 2 that become paid members, then there's benefit. At a minimum, you get a free paid membership for life. So with that, I think that's it with a share. And I wanted to, we've got about 18 minutes. I pinged through this. I will actually share the, let's see, Don Sprague must have had to go out and come back. So I'm going to move him back up, promote to panelist. But anyway, so are there any questions? I will share a link for you to get some more information. I know Lloyd is a free member, but Lloyd, go ahead. You had your hand up.
Yeah. So my question is, can you upgrade your membership? And I'm a free member, but to be honest with you, I don't know what I've got, because Vic squared me away. Says, "Hey, this is a great deal. Here's the link," or something like that. And I went there and I did something, and I don't even know if I have a user ID or a password or any of that stuff. So, as a matter of fact, I got a call with him later today to try to figure it out. But that's where I'm at.
Well, and that's thank you for being transparent. You're not alone. I have a number of those folks because of the journey we've been on. So there's people that have really gotten involved very early, and things have continued to change. Some people look at that and go, okay, I can't keep up with this. Kind of same reaction you have to some of the other platforms. I don't have time to figure this out. I think we're now at a great place where I'm happy to help you understand how to make it work, and I'm offering to do that for those that are serious about building out. The first thing will be helping you obviously get logged in, build your profile, and then start figuring out how Be Connected can be leveraged for what you want to do, not necessarily what it is and what level. But yes, the answer is yes, you can upgrade from free to 99 to 299 at any time. Yeah, Dana.
Yeah. One of the things, kind of to Robert's point about learning about this and how to use it. Is there content about how to use this thing, how to leverage this tool that's created by Be Connected?
The answer is yes. There are new videos. There are videos coming out. There are some what I call explainer videos. I think I might have sent you a carousel that explains what it is. And then once you become a member, I can show you where those resources are depending on what membership you are in terms of how to both build out. The thing is, building your profile, it actually walks you through step by step doing that. And once you've answered those questions, but there are also some other resources. And again, if push comes to shove, especially in this time frame, one of the reasons why I want to share with this group is that I'm happy to have a one-to-one walk through, get you set up, talk about how we can, how you can take advantage of it, or what the best way to go. Yeah, Scott?
Yeah.
So I've got two questions. One is, do you consider this a B2B or B2C business? And second is for me, my clients are in Texas only. So is it geographically, can I, focus in that, so to speak?
The answer to both is the answer to both questions, and you haven't been around me much lately, but the B2B, B2C question is, if you're in networking, my philosophy is we're all in B2B because we're all building our community, building our network, building our partnership and our awareness. The platform, the answer is yes, it's both B2B, B2C. And the other part of that is, can you focus in a specific geographic area? The answer again is yes, you can focus if you just said I only care about Texas. The question, and again, we can take this offline, in terms of thinking about strategy, but then even though one of the things about Texas, especially when it comes to energy, is we got people coming from all over the world to Texas and all over the US. And so getting a leg up or getting people aware of what you do that are coming into this market, or maybe know people in this market, is not a bad thing. So you can focus, and it's getting easier to do that. And I will be honest with you, it's evolved because it's everything is improving on a daily basis, because as they're meant, but I think we're at a place where it is usable, but there's also opportunities to improve it over time. So I think that answers your question.
Okay, thanks, Dave.
Okay. Any other thoughts, questions? Lloyd, did you still have something else you want to chat about?
No, I was just, my thought for jumping on this thing, or at least giving it serious thought, was because now with ACN, I'm in 27 countries.
Yeah, that's what when you said that, I thought, oh, now I know why Lloyd's because he's got. And the thing is, the beauty of it, if you connect the dots and you think about this is because we're just getting started, and even though 20,000 people is a lot bigger than RP Networkers or whatever the number is right now, and global is a lot further reach. than we're focused on here. The cool thing about it is it's still something that you and I can get our arms around, and we don't have to hire somebody to go monitor or be connected, and it's still within your control to set one-to-ones with people and be very deliberate, and also for not only for your request but the acceptance of those connections. So you can do it as that's one of the reasons why people talk about liking face-to-face networking or a group like ours, is because it's manageable, right? You're not out there like on LinkedIn. I've said this before, I've got 10,000 connections, if you will, on LinkedIn, and I get about 35 a day requests. So I don't even know what to do with that beyond that. Whereas I basically tell people, if you want to meet with me, if I see somebody, which by the way, I had a podcast guest that I already had on my Warrior versus Zombie that reached out to me via LinkedIn, and she got my attention because I could tell it was a real person, not a bot or not a automation, and she was really not giving me kind of boilerplate stuff, but she talked about that, and she really came to me specifically for a reason. And I said, okay, I can see you're serious. Here's where you really connect with me on. Go to Be Connected. And then we carried it on. She became a podcast guest and those kinds of things. So there is strategy on how to use it. And I think one of the reasons to use it is exactly what, for you, in your case, Lloyd, is expanding or taking advantage of the fact that you can go beyond your borders. But I would suggest, again, I go back to, and I'm not, Scott, just because I'm not picking on you, I'm just saying, even if you're focused in a specific geographic area, what I'm finding is I'm actually connecting one of my clients with my yesterday's podcast guest, who's a women's executive counselor, has a methodology, and she's in Maine, United States, and I'm connecting her to my client here because there seems to be some real synergy there. So if you're talking about people buying services or being relevant to a Texas energy market, well, again, we all know, everybody here I think knows Texas is exploding with people coming in from outside this marketplace. So again, all I would say is the intention here is to expand your thought, figure out what you're inspired. If you want to figure it out, or you're still needing to expand the thought process beyond maybe what you would normally look at, I think this group would be willing to help with that. But also I'm willing to sit down with anybody one-to-one, because if you know anything about what I'm trying to do, everything I do with this network is intended to try and serve the warriors that choose to show up and invest their most valuable asset in me and in the rest of us. So if this can serve you, it's great. If it can't, that's okay too. Randy, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to make a comment about some of the things that people were just saying. To make an impact in LinkedIn, you're competing. I don't know what the LinkedIn statistics, but I guess the membership is well over 1 million people. So think about how hard it is to get acknowledged, recognized, and connected to legitimately in a network of 1 million plus people. The difference you have here with Be Connected is, I won't say you're at ground floor because I think they're above ground floor now, but you have the opportunity here to make a difference right from the beginning and be part of the growing mass as opposed to just a little ant in a giant anthill. So I think the strategies are different. I think the opportunity to make a difference and to be rapidly recognized for what it is that you offer is greater, in my opinion, with Be Connected than it is with LinkedIn.
Yeah, and Randy, thank you for that. That I think it's true. I think everything you said is true. I think again, looking at this strictly from a business standpoint, to say it's on the ground floor, this is really an early, what I call early innovator stage, really to get the LinkedIn, just to your first point, 793 million users, about 10% pay what you were paying with Sales Navigator or whatever, $99 a month or whatever it is, to have that membership. So that's 79 million people. Be Connected, as I said, just to give you perspective, is probably between 10 and 20,000 members right now. So it's very, very early. To get to what I would call inflection point where everybody goes, oh, you're not on Link, or you're not on Be Connected, why not? Kind of that place where anybody you talk to, they're gonna need to be about 15 million minimum community before it is. So this is one of those things that it's early. It's like if you are, and there's really one reason why I want to show you the numbers and the dollars and the downside and the upside is just so you get your mind a little bit around that, not little mind, a little bit around that, and think about what the possibilities might be. And there's really very little downside risk here. I mean, you're not betting the farm here. I mean, anybody that's Dawn, who had to bail out, she was saying, the money she's invested in her franchise. I'm working with some clients who have franchise. The amount of money that you put in to that just to get another little bit of market share or whatever, what they invest in paying people to manage their social media. My daughter pays about $1,200 a month for people just to to manage her social media. So it's expensive to basically get eyeballs because they're making money on that. Whereas here, yeah, it might be a smaller audience, but you have more control, and it's something you can do. And as it grows, the pond grows, may become a bigger fish in a bigger pond as time goes on. It's just, again, I always say consistency, and I really felt it was important for you guys to understand where this is at, because it's changed. The summit that I mentioned, I'm going to I'll share a link. I'll just do it on the Facebook group. So if you're not on there, I won't do it on here. But on the 13th of November, I think I'm speaking at like 8:30 in the evening, which is a Saturday, but it starts at 8:30 Eastern. The whole thing is on Eastern time, but it's 7:30 Central. But and I think my talk is only like 10 minutes, and it won't be I'm talking about building your community. But I will put some links out there in the replay of this for you guys to be able to follow up with or whatever. So we're now thank you guys it's 12:57. Thank you for your continued participation in the group, and any questions. If you have any follow-up, just reach out to me. You all pretty much know how to follow up, and I'm happy to help anybody move forward with this. Sign up for the there's some keynote people in this summit, like Laura Langmeyer, and who I know reasonably well, and some other really large influencers. So if you're wanting to be community and you want to leverage somebody else's credibility to maybe refer other people to the Be Connected community, that summit would be a good way to do that. So you say, well, nobody cares about me. I'm just Lloyd Dobson, or I'm just Dave Roberts, or I'm just Don Sprague, or nobody cares about me. Well, but there are some names on this summit where somebody might say, yeah, I might want to tune into that or ping into that and see it's free and get some of that. And once they do, they come in there, regardless of what their status is, they're basically tied to you. Even if you're a free member, but you referred them in. And then if you decide to be a paid member, then that could be one of your 2 referrals. And then if you decide to be an ambassador, you can start, if that audience of people grows and starts building, you can start generating some income. So I don't want to get into that and too much in the weeds because it could be overwhelming. But if you want to pursue any of that thought process, I'm a big believer in this disruptive platform, and I'm really interested in diverting all of my energy off of Facebook, Twitter, other platforms that are basically just making money off of me and trying to control me and my message. So that's just me.
I got one last question. I'm sort of in Lloyd's shoes as well. I'm a free member, but I haven't done anything with it yet. And is there a way to, as you get involved in this, to find subject areas that you'd be interested in from that other people are posting to this site, so that you can sort of focus your searches in the Be Connected world to things you want to learn?
The answer is yes. Depending on if you are a paid member, you have access to the entire course catalog, if you will, in the back office. If you're just a regular free member and you're coming in whenever you log in, on the home page is the shows that are up and the topics and the things that are on. You can, if you properly put together both your public and your private profile, the algorithm offers up people that you might be interested in, but then you can go into the connection generator and search for maybe certain people or topics or whatever.
All right. Yeah, and that's what I was most interested in. Because I'm sort of in Scott's boat too. My audience technically is limited to Texas, but like you said, there's millions of people moving here every day. So every week.
Those of us that are been focused in Texas, even this networking group, I'm finding that people are finding out about us before they land in Texas and coming in saying, yeah, I was looking on Meetup before I got here, or I was looking here and I saw this group. And so a lot of our new people, are coming in and they're new to the area, right, Randy? I know you've experienced it.
Yep.
And I know Alan's experienced it. The guys, and Ricky. I mean, you've heard people. Oh, I just got here, and I just.
Well, some of the people that show up on Monday night.
Yeah, our Monday nights.
Getting newbies.
Ronit.
Well, I see it every day at JCPenney. I mean, it's just like crazy.
Yeah, and your business with the, furniture, that's the funny thing. I don't know if you were part of that discussion on a Monday night, but somebody said that. I think it was Ronit was sharing that they don't have. She's organizing these people who just acquired these mansions moving from the West Coast, and they don't have enough. They didn't realize that our property is really cheap, but the furniture is the same price as it out in California, and all of a sudden they have a house that's twice as big, and they can only afford to furnish their lower. They didn't allocate enough of the budget to furnish the upstairs.
Well, and I get them every day because they come in and they say, well, I just bought this new house and I've got 30 windows that I need to put drapes on. Okay, well, I can send you a custom.
$30,000.
Just get your wallet out.
Yeah, it's called if you ever saw The Money, the movie. Of course, it's a little different, but context. But The Money Pit with Tom Hanks. I mean, that's
absolutely.
That was my house.
I was going to say that's why I saw that movie early on. Decided I didn't want to be a remodeling kind of guy or whatever. But even new ones are a money pit, right?
It's incredible.
Anyway, well, thanks, guys. Same upcoming next.